I mean, obviously, I guess the headline story in the post-trade space at the moment has been NDFs and options.
Yep. So let me give you a little bit of a snippet of last week. I was in India, and this is sort of a microcosm of what's going on. So India, little known fact, they clear their onshore deliverable at local CCP. So they're very used to clearing, which is kind of neat. They love clearing, and they see all the benefits they get from it. When I speak to the banks, they sort of, I guess, end up in three camps. You've got the biggest guys who want to clear everything because they're caught by UMR. So UMR went live in April last year. So they're getting hosed on margin. So they want to clear as much as they can. You've got the medium guys who are trying to keep under threshold. So again, it's financial resource management. And then you've got the smallest guys who are worried about being cut out of the market. And that's coming from a different angle. We've got the big liquidity providers internationally who are saying to all of their smaller counterparties, if you don't clear, I'm not going to trade with you.
Right.
So we're about, in the interbank market now in NDFs, we're about 50% of the interbank market globally. Okay. And so we always thought that that might be the tipping point when not so much a price differentiation, but a preference. So the big guys can basically say to everyone they trade with, if you don't clear, I'm not going to trade with you anymore. And we have real live examples of that happening already. So we see India as a little bit of a microcosm because they're used to clearing, but we've seen this starting to happen in LATAM, and then the big liquidity providers actually then contacting their other LPs to say the same thing. So that has driven the growth in NDFs. As I said, we're over 50% of the interbank market. We're up again about 40% this year in terms of volumes now.
Yeah, I mean the numbers are impressive. You know, before we go, so Simon, does this feed back into your world?
Yeah, I mean this point that Andrew makes about India is super interesting because if you look at the RBI stats, 70% of the interbank swaps market is now occurring on venue, on an electronic venue. And so what that tells me is that the fact that the India market, which is sophisticated, happy with a credit solution which is centralized, over in G10, we're experiencing about, I don't know, still single-digit percentage of the market which is going through electronic venue. And so that tells me that there's a credit issue. And there are lots of solutions coming. As we begin to solve the credit side of this, you'll see an acceleration of what's going to happen in swaps.